Alright, just wanted to make a quick video about this unfortunate tragedy that happened with the submarine. Um, so, this is the CEO, Stockton Rush, and these people, I think, were this guy was a billionaire. This is his son, 19. Um, So you pay $250,000 and then you can go down and see the Titanic. Now, I mean, it's too bad for everyone that died. I mean, but I gotta say, I think Stockton Rush. I think he really messed up. Like, I mean, the guy's using like almost like an Xbox controller. I think it's Logitech. To be fair to Stockton, to control the vessel to go to the bottom of the sea to see the Titanic. I mean, I think they're over 12,000 feet down, and they don't even have seats in the thing. I mean, it just seems crazy. It just seems crazy that. And I know it's in international waters, and I'm not like blaming the government or anything. It's that guy's fault, and probably some other people too. And James Cameron says he's been really busy. He didn't say anything. He wish he did. And I don't think anyone's blaming James Cameron, but because I mean Cameron's been down to the bottom of the Titanic. I think he says like over 30 times. I was like, wow, man. It's like, I don't know, if I had money like that, it's like there's no. I mean, I would look at this sub and just be like, I want a refund. Like, you don't have seats. You're using an Xbox controller. Uh, Apparently you can't even get out of the thing unless people on the outside like undo the bolts. And Cameron was saying like all of this is not what you want to do, because like even if like you get lost and you surface and you're in the middle of nowhere, like you'd be stuck in there and you could die. You need outside groups to get you out of it. It just doesn't seem ideal. Um, So James Cameron said I thought it was a horrible idea. I wish I'd spoken up, but I assumed somebody was smarter than me, because I never experimented with that technology, but it just sounded bad on its face. He added the industry standard is to make hulls out of con- contiguous materials such as titanium, steel, ceramic, or acrylic. An echo concern from critics that the materials used for the Titan's hulls would be susceptible to failure over time by way of delamination and water ingress. We celebrate innovation, right? But you shouldn't be using an experimental vehicle for paying passengers that aren't themselves deep ocean engineers. Yeah, I know. See, that's the thing. It's like, and then because Cameron was then, I don't think it says it here, but he says, look, like I've used experimental underwater technology. He's like, but I was the person in it, and I'm surrounded by engineers that this is like what they do. It's like I mean, if you're a billionaire and you pay money, I don't know. It just seems very unethical. Like you're using experimental technologies. You're using a carbon fiber hull. I mean, what do I know? It sounds like I'd want titanium. I mean, at least steel. And then he said the problem with that material, with ceramic, or it's carbon fiber. He actually said ceramic is good. He said the problem with carbon fiber is like what happened as far as I understand is you can go down a couple times and you're fine, but micro fractures can appear which you can't even really see, and then you're going down and it crushes, and that's what happened. Luckily, I think that they, I think their deaths were pretty quick. Cameron said he knew early on that they had died. The debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families. I offer my deepest condolences to the families. Yeah, it's very sad. It's because it was a horrible idea. If it's taking passengers, whether they're science observers or citizen explorers, it should be certified. We celebrate innovation, right? But you shouldn't be using experimental vehicle for paying passengers that aren't themselves deep ocean engineers. Of the roughly 10 submersibles that exist in the world that are capable of diving to the depth of the Titanic, nearly 4,000 meters below the surface, only Oceangate's Titan is uncertified. Most tourist submersibles explore coral reefs and other natural phenomena at 500 meters or less. In 2018, an OceanGate employee had authorized a letter warning CEO Stockton Rush that for going third party certification of Titan could result in catastrophic outcome. Wow. Travel Weekly's editor in chief said that he met Mr. Rush, he said he had gotten the carbon fiber used to make the Titan at a big discount from Boeing because it was past its shelf life for you in airplanes. So this stuff was like what they make airplanes out of. I don't know. Just because you could make an airplane out of it doesn't mean you can go over 12,000 feet down in the water. I mean, the pressure is it's just insane. I don't know. I would. It's like. I mean, surfing and bodyboarding could be fun, but I don't know. The ocean kind of freaks me out. It's like you don't mess with the ocean, man. But yeah, I also heard in 2018 there was a whistleblower, and he tried to confront him because he worked for him. He's an engineer, and he just fired the guy, Stockton Rush. Yeah, the Titanic director has made a whopping 33 dives to the shipwreck himself, even calculating that he spent more time on the Titanic than its own captain did a century ago. Well, not on the Titanic, but near it. Just crazy. It's that far down, and it's like almost no submersibles could go that deep. I'm struck by the similarity of the Titanic disaster itself, Cameron says, where the captain was repeatedly warned about ice ahead of his ship, and yet he steamed up full speed into an ice field on a moonless night. and many people died as a result. Cameron said, and for a very similar tragedy, where warnings went unheeded, to take place at the same exact spot with all the diving that's going on all around the world, I think it's just astonishing. It's really quite surreal. Cameron stressed that the deep submergence diving is a mature art with very few accidents when it began in the 1960s. An even better safety record now, thanks in large part to the certification protocols that almost all such vehicles follow, except this one. I wonder if they're going to make a movie of this. And it's sad, like, the 19-year-old, like, um, he was worried. He didn't really want to go. I mean, apparently, and some people on Twitter are like, "Oh, good, billionaires are dying," and come on, man. It's like, come on. I mean, these are people. It's like, I don't know. I mean, you Stockton Rush. It's like, I don't know. He sounds like some problems, but I mean, it's sad. It's these are people. It's like, I think it's sad. You do got to give James Cameron that, man. He's a smart guy. The deep submergence community is small, Cameron stressed. He has known Paul Henri Narguillet, the legendary French submersible pilot. Yeah, I think he's ex French Navy or something. Who was one of the five people on board, and he's known him for 25 years. For him to have died tragically in this way is almost impossible for me to process. Yeah, apparently, is that him? Yeah, apparently he was like a total badass ex Navy. And then you have Stockton Rush like saying, I don't know, he's just like some of the safety measures that people usually take just stifle innovation. And so it's made out of carbon fiber, made of two different materials blended together. I mean, is that just carbon fiber like people use on cars? I guess because it's lightweight but really strong. But man, dude, I ain't going in some submersible 12,000 feet down with that. Like, I mean, that's like what people put on cars and like the interior of cars because it weighs. It's tough, but it doesn't weigh that much. And so we all know the danger was delamination and progressive failure over time with microscopic water ingresses and what they call sealing fatigue. We all knew if the sub had passed its pressure test, it wasn't gonna fail on its first dive. But it's going to fail over time, which is insidious. You don't get that with steel or titanium. It's just like, why would this guy do that? Because yeah, as far as I understand, they've done multiple dives, and but it seems like what Cameron's saying is it's gonna fail, like it's gonna, and it did, and now they're all dead. I told those guys somebody's gonna get killed in that sub or in a sub like it. Comparing Ocean Gate to his Titanic dives is like apples and oranges. Cameron has dove with Russian submersibles that he said used very, very well understood design methodologies and had a flawless operating record. Yeah, because he's probably like, oh man, this makes all of us look bad. It does, unfortunately, and he's saying no. Like what we do is actually safe. I mean, you got to be so careful, of course, but he is. He's James Cameron. You got this 8-story, 10-story high structure with overhanging material structures. It's a twisted mess. You can get entangled. That's also what some people were saying. Like, there's like exposed wires everywhere, and like, I don't know. Some people are like, that's not good. You can get entangled, but I don't think that's what happened. But and they're using like PVC pipes, and I don't know. We treated it like a space mission. You have to go in with a lot of redundancy in the way you design it. So I wasn't surprised when it worked, but you're always a little bit relieved because the alternative is not pretty. Yeah, that's for sure. The expedition involved using 536-pound weights to pull his submersible down, spending about 3 hours on the ocean floor and disconnecting the weights to rise it back up. Okay, so that's what Cameron would do. So, and then you also got Stockton Rush, like, and he's like, Titanic Tour CEO didn't hire 50-year-old white guys because they weren't inspirational. And it's like, how, like, just can we just hire the people best qualified for the job? Like, why do you got to bring, like, like their race into it? I don't know. I wanted our team to be younger, to be inspirational. And I'm not going to inspire a 16-year-old to pursue marine technology, but a 25-year-old, who's a sub pilot or a platform operator to be inspirational. I mean, why? Why wouldn't that? I don't. That, okay. I don't even think that he's correct. I think you could inspire people just by being competent. You're not inspiring people now. Definitely not. I mean, you're making, and no one wants to. No, everyone's like, no way, I don't want to do this. The founder and CEO who navigates the missing type submersible with a cheap Amazon video game joystick has been. Okay, he's trapped, dead. Some 370 miles off the coast of Canada. That's where the wreck is. And it's got to be cold, too. It's got to be so cold. But I don't know. It's just like, can you just hire the people that are best suited for the job? Like, why you got to bring race into it? I don't know. And I'm sure some people are blowing that part out of proportion, but it's like, come on, man. He said it, okay? The guy said it. Like, so. So, yeah, they're right off 370 miles off Newfoundland, Canada. Looking at this picture, pilot uses video game controller to steer craft. Oh my god. And it's like, yeah, that's not why it failed, but I mean, I wonder if you can plug it in. I mean, it's like, yeah, you trust that, what is it, Bluetooth? You trust that Bluetooth? Like, it's like, like I've had controllers fail, and then you got to get a new one, and I mean, I'm sure he has backups, but, and they're all just sitting, like, they're sitting in the craft, there's no chairs. As far as I could tell, maybe there's one chair. One toilet on the board hidden by the curtain when in use. Okay. No seats for passengers. Powered by 4 electronic thrusters. So, and it's also called Ocean Gate. It's like, doesn't that mean kind of like controversy? I mean, like after, we've had a bunch of political gates. like, you know, like with Nixon and, Clinton and then others. And I don't know. It's like, you call it Ocean Gate, like controversy. It's sad, but it's almost like it's just, doomed to fail. But, anyways, I just thought I'd, give a little bit of my opinion on it. I already did another video about it, but, that was just like a couple minutes. But yeah, anyways, just give me my opinion on it. That's about it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. That's about it. RIP to all those people.